So in the last tutorial, we talked about a super method. So using this super method, what we have done is, so if you don't write super I here, it will call the default constructor of super class. In order to call the parameterized constructor of super class, we need to pass a parameter in the super method, right? Now this is what we use super as a method. Now let's see what's the use of super as a keyword. So what we can do is just remove all this code to make it more simple, and we'll do some scratch coding here. Now, so I have a fresh file. Again, let me go with the same class name, which is x and y, to make it, since we are familiar with this notations. So we have class y, which extends class x, right? Now let's say I have a method here which is public void show. Okay, and this public void show, let me print it is system.out.println, and here what I'm printing is, let's say, hello world from x. Okay, so now even if I create object of x, I'm not creating object of y, I'm creating object of x now. So we'll say new x, and if I say it is obj dot show, now the output we'll be getting is hello world from x, is because from I'm calling this show from the object of x, right? So if I say run, the output is hello world from x, right? But let's say if I create object of y, I'm not creating object of x now, I'm creating object of y. So what will be output? Will it call show? And of course yes, is because what we are doing here, we are saying class y extends x. That means it will fetch this show down, right? So basically it will jump to this y class and it will see we don't have any method called show, which means we need to go up to the class x and you have to call this show. So if I say run as Java application, the output is hello world from x. It's because we don't have show method in y, it will call the show method of x. But let's say in future we have something called as method overriding, using which we can define two methods with the same name and same number of parameters but in different class, and both this class has a relationship of inheritance. So if I print here system dot out dot let's say print ln, and here what I'm doing is we are saying it is hello world from y. Now since the object is of y, which method it will call? Will it call a show which prints from x, or will it call a show which prints from y? So let's run this code and check. And of course with the because of method overriding, this method show will override this method, right? And that's what the output is, hello world from y. But let's say I want to call this show. I want to print both. I want to print hello world from x and hello world from y. That means I need to call this show from this class. That means we need to create object of x somewhere here, and we need to call. Now to call the same instance, when you say you want to call the same instance, we use something called as this, right? But this time I don't want to use the same instance of the class. I want to use the instance of super class. So we can use something called as super dot show. Now this super dot show will call is, it will not call the current show, it will call this show, is because we are writing here it is super. The super dot show will call the show method of super class, which is of x. So if I run this, if I say run as Java application, the output is, it is hello world from x and hello world from y. In fact, we can also use super keyword with variable, something in this way. Let's say if I have a variable here int I, and the value of I is 1, and with the value from hello world from y, and let me print the value of I also. Now this I refers to this I, is because in this class we don't have any I. So if I run this now, So run as Java application. The output is hello world from X because we are calling super.show, and hello world from Y because of we are printing this also, and we are printing value of I, which is 1. But let's say in the same class, if I say int I and the value of I here is 5. Now this I refers to which one? It will obviously refer to this I because it will always search for the current value or latest value. So it will say, okay, so we are getting I here, so the value of I is 5. You can see if I'm selecting here, it is highlighted this I, not this one. So if I say run as Java application, the output is 5, right? It's because we are fetching the value of a variable which is in Y class. But what if I want to use this I variable? Again, your guess is right. We can use something called as super keyword. So we can simply say super.I, it will use this I. You can see it is already highlighted now. And if I say run as Java application, the output is hello world from Y and the value is 1. Simple. So this is the use of super keyword. So now we can use super as a method which will call the constructor. We can use super as a keyword with method, and we can also use it with a variable.